Good evening everyone, and welcome to a new style kind of video that I'm going to be trying, fingers crossed it works, is Letters Film Reviews. Tonight I'm going to be talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, not the whole franchise or anything like that, but what I'm going to be talking about is the stupid, crappy remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street that they did in 2010. So, let's begin. I've tried to set the ring light to mood lighting, as I'm calling it. It's on a warm light, maybe that'll work. I've turned the ceiling light off. I've got some ambient spooky sounds in the background, so let's go. So, I should be wearing all black for this, but I'm not. Basically, in 2010, actually in 2008, I heard about, I think it was 2008, 2009, we started to hear about the remake for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I'd seen some remakes previously to that, so I wasn't expecting great things, which is a good job. And so I was still quite excited for it. I was still looking forward to seeing what they'd done with it and everything like that, and who was going to be playing Freddy. Was it going to be Robert Englund? Because, to be honest, in 2008, which is, let's try and calculate, is, oh, hang on, 18, 17 years ago, and so 17 years ago, he would have been in his 60s, let's be honest about it. So Robert Englund would have been in his 60s by then anyway. So I did wonder if Robert Englund was going to play Freddy, because I thought he's getting a bit long in the tooth now, you know. He's played him since 1984 when he was 37. So I did wonder if they was going to take the route of a different actor, and in my opinion back then I was thinking, if they're going to take the route of him being a different actor to play Freddy, he's got to be good. He's got to be good, and the makeup's got to be spot on, etc, etc. If you're not familiar with The Nightmare on Elm Street, it's directed by Wes Craven. He is a legend in my eyes. He's directed a lot of stuff, and he's brilliant. So, we hadn't seen any videos or any trailers or anything like that, no sneak peeks or anything for a while. And then before it was being released at cinemas, we started to see some trailers. They was knocking about on YouTube. Now back then I'd never heard of YouTube, so it was new to me. And so I was looking on YouTube, and it was being a bit sketchy, not really showing you what it looked like or anything. And then eventually we did find it, and I was very disappointed. The first reaction was, what the hell is that makeup? I'm going to pop a picture here now. It's possibly going to be that end, because I always say this end and it ends up being the opposite way. What I mean. Basically, this is Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Above it, I'm going to pop in the other guy that I cannot think for the life of me of his name, is what we got in 2010. He looks like he's been He's got, yeah, obviously he's got, I can't say that word, prosthetics or whatever you call it. He's got that on, but basically to me, he looks like he's been covered in candle wax and stood in front of a fire and melted. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. I just thought, are you taking the mickey here? This is a franchise which has been going from 1984, and yeah, what the hell you done with the makeup? It looks bloody awful, honestly. Do you think? It looks blinking awful. So Freddy's supposed to be burnt skin, like he's been in a fire and he's really burnt, which is the actual fact, because he has. And you give us this guy, it looks like he's been covered in candle wax and put in front of an open fire and melted. It's a melted face. His face is really small and squat. Probably not his fault, but you know, they could have done something with the prosthetics. I might have said it then, and made it better. No, they didn't make it better. It looked cheap, and it looked rubbish. I mean, if you're going to put all these billions of pounds into the film, at least put some of that money into good makeup. This was rubbish. I don't know who did the makeup. I don't really care who did the makeup. All I know is I thought the actual makeup was really bad. Plus, I know it's a small, tiny, minute detail, but the hat's wrong. The hat wasn't dented in the middle and made it look like a McDonald's M, put it that way. It was not like that at all, as you can see by the pictures. So I wasn't over enthralled, to say the least. I thought the other bits, like the jumper and that, was fine. So I was like, oh, here we go. And then we've seen some trailers, more trailers of some of the acting, and the one-liners done with him was just awful. It didn't feel like he was putting the effort into me. So it's just so bad, so bad. And I just thought, this is going to be an S show. I'm not going to say the word. So, oh my God, I thought, what have you done? The director to this is, I don't remember the name, unfortunately. I will be popping that on the screen. At the time when I found out who the actor was for this, I actually did say at the time, before I knew he'd done other films, don't give up the day job, love. I don't know what I was thinking. I still think, even though Robert England is 78 now, back then he was in his 60s, still could have played him and still could have done so much of a better job than this guy. Oh my goodness, the trailers, you've seen them and you've seen the way it was acted, and the melty candle look face, it doesn't look burnt at all. It looks like he's dripping with candle wax, and it's just awful. And the one-liners are flipping ridiculous. Out of his mouth it doesn't stick. And I know all the one-liners of Freddy, believe me, I've watched them enough times. I would even take anybody if you'd watched it with me, because I'll be coming out with them before he does. Oh my God, why? If you're going to make a great movie, at least make it good. Stop making these remakes which are totally awful. This wasn't meant to be a rant, but my goodness, I can rant about it. Flipping heck. So I hadn't even seen the film yet. I'd seen some of the acting by some of the actors, and that weren't much better either. I mean, that was just... And Nancy just wasn't right. The one that played Nancy just wasn't right. Heather Langenkamp, Heather Langenkamp, crikey, I can't even say that, played her in the originals, and she is brilliant. I know you can't get the same actresses because she's getting on a bit as well, but will you please at least get actresses and actors that can actually act and not be woods. Oh goodness gracious, it was just so bad. So I'd already seen these trailers and already knew we was in for a S show. So the film got released, and I didn't see it for quite some years. To be honest with you, it was a while. I wasn't going to go out there and pay £15 for this rubbish, you know. I knew it was going to be bad. I wanted to get it at a budget price because that's all it'd be worth, if that. So I got it eventually, I think several years after the film was done. Because I think I actually also decided I wasn't going to bother with it at some point. And then I thought, I'll watch it. So I managed to get it, I think I managed to see it in 2018. It might have been a bit before, but it was not 10 years, 8 years after the release, maybe 9, because I'm thinking a DVD release here. And got it on. The opening scene came on, and I just went, this is terrible. This is just terrible. They couldn't even get an actor that got the same height as Robert Englund, for blinking goodness sake. Let alone that could act. I'm sorry he's been in other films, and probably he might have done them better, but my goodness, don't play a villain like this because you're crap. So he's doing all the stuff. The original version is these group of teenage kids are all having the same dream of this same guy with the butter knife claws, as that girl called it in the Freddy vs. Jason. As the knives on his hand on a glove. It's on a glove, but it's got knives on one hand, like a claw. And he's terrorising them in their dreams, in their sleep. They're all having this same dream. They're all having it. They're all dreaming of it. So they're all having copious amounts of coffee and these stay awake pill things. And it doesn't work because they go to sleep. So whenever they go to sleep, they're terrorised by Freddy. And so anyway, so back to the remake. It is just awful. He can't even do the one-liners properly. I'm sorry if he's watching. He's not watching this. But he can't even do the one-liners properly, for flipping hell. What the hell? I would prefer to have had Robert Englund's comeback. He's a bit long in the tooth. He probably just went, no more, I can't do it anymore. I understand. He was in the makeup chair for hours getting that makeup put on, and then he would do all the filming parts he had to do that day, and then had the makeup took off. A hell of a long day. I get it, I understand. I have a lot of respect for that man, a lot. So, you know, he was part of my childhood. He was part of my 16th year on this planet, watching such a great film when I wasn't supposed to watch it, you know, and that's what started the whole thing. So he's been brilliant, and he's in other films and cracking. So 2001 Maniac, brilliant. Anyway, so I know Robert Englund would have done this decent job. Actually, I've seen interviews with Robert Englund and talking about the remake, and he is being a little bit careful because he obviously doesn't want to offend anyone, and he doesn't want to say much, but you could just pick it up that he wasn't impressed with it. So he didn't like it either. So yeah, it was just so badly acted. He looked like he'd been standing in front of an open fire with wax on his face and he was melted. The one-liners just didn't work for him. The voice was really bad. That's what made it worse. I think really is that. And the stupid makeup and the tiny little round face. This guy has not got a tiny face. I'm not saying he's a fat person. I'm just saying he's not got a tiny round face, you know. I've got a small round face, let's be fair. But, oh gosh, why? Why? A 90-year-old Robert Englund played this better than he could. What the heck do you think's going on here? You've got actors and actresses that can't act. You've got this guy that can't even... Oh, goodness. So, yeah, basically, I've still got this film. I don't watch it because it's bad. It is so bad. I don't watch the actual franchise Nightmare on Elm Street, although I'm going to go through them at some point and rank them, because I need to watch them again after all these years. But I know exactly what it's going to be, because immediately he does that in the first bit and goes, this, I was going, this is bad. You know, I know the lines. So it doesn't matter, it's just me watching them. Neil doesn't like horror films, so he doesn't watch them anyway. But, yeah, oh goodness. Oh, why? Why make remakes this bad? Why? What is the problem? You made Amityville and it's bad. Actually, I've not seen the remake to that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was awful. It was a massacre. Friday the 13th remake I've just seen, and that was terrible. There are some remakes I have seen I thought was, you know, alright. Not many. I don't... Oh yeah, they did do Children of the Corn remake. I watched that. That's... Oh god, that's awful. Anyway, remakes are terrible. I have recently watched Beetlejuice, so if you want me to talk about that, I will. We'll see how this goes and how the viewing level goes and everything like that. But I thought, even though it's not October yet, I would do spooky film review. Let's give this a go. It's something different. It's something different. You don't have to watch it. If you're not into spooky stuff or whatever like that, you don't have to watch the video. I won't be offended at all. Not much. No, I won't be offended. So anyway, I'm just looking at the screen. It's all green and all that. It's got these spooky sounds going on. I'm not sure how loud it is. Anyway, so that concludes my thoughts, or rant as it turned out to be, on the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. If you do want to watch A Nightmare on Elm Street, stick with the originals from the 80s. Don't watch this. Just don't. Anyway, please do all the lovely stuff. Like, comment, subscribe and share. It really does help out my channel and makes the algorithm look a bit healthy. I will see you again next time. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.